The top stories tonight in Y News. The Overseas Workers Welfare Administration or OWA reports 2 injured Filipinos following the widespread flooding in the United Arab Emirates. The Philippines and New Zealand plan to sign 2 agreements as part of efforts to strengthen the relationship between the 2 countries. A senator slams China over its recent statement on the issue of alleged influx of Chinese students in Cagayan. And we will discover why Prince William, the Duke of Cambridge, resumed his royal duties following his wife Kate's recent cancer diagnosis. Good evening, Philippines and the world. Today is Friday, the 19th of April, 2024. Join us in the next hour as we deliver today's top stories around the Philippines and in other parts of the world. We are also seen in 1,935 satellite monitoring centers nationwide and via live streaming worldwide through the UNTV News and Rescue social media channels. I am Hardy Delgado. First in the news. Aside from 3 Filipinos who perished in the widespread flooding in the United Arab Emirates, the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration or OWA has reported 2 others injured. One of the injured workers still undergoing intensive care. Ryan Lacanlale will tell us why.
One of the 2 Filipinos who were seriously injured in the recent widespread flooding in the United Arab Emirates remains in the intensive care unit. According to the information provided by the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration, the injured individual will undergo surgery. The other Filipino is in a stable condition after undergoing surgery on the leg. Along with the 2, one of the 3 Filipinos perished after their vehicle fell into a sinkhole while avoiding floodwaters in Dubai.
Nung una nga nalilito ako rito, sabi ko, paano nangyari na napakatindi naman nung aksidente, kung baha. Yung pala, ito dumada sa area na hindi mo na baha at ang talaga naging cause ng sakuna ay yung sinkhole. Kasi, hindi ba nga, puro buhangin dito at hindi naman talaga kasi umuulan sa Middle East. So, ito ay mga unexpected na mga pangyayari talaga.
In total, 3 OFWs in UAE died and 2 were injured. Among the deceased were 2 Filipinas who worked together in Sharjah. They suffocated inside a shuttle service, leading to cardiac arrest. Meanwhile, OWA is now coordinating with the Dubai government and the companies of the deceased OFWs. This is to expedite the processing of documents of the deceased Filipinos for their immediate repatriation to the Philippines.
Hindi ito magiging matagal. Sa ano lang kasi ngayon siyempre we need all the necessary clearances, requirements at lalo na sa kalagayan ng kanilang mga airports ngayon. Pero as of today naman, maaraw na sa UAE, kaya nga lang talaga yung baha, may katagalang humupa.
The government will cover the expenses for repatriating the remains. And because they are active OWA members, they will be granted full benefits they are entitled to. OWA has also visited and spoken with the families of the deceased. Meanwhile, assistance continues to be provided to those affected by the flooding in the UAE, primarily in Dubai, Sharjah, and Al Ain.
Sa Abu Dhabi po, ang affected area po ay sa Al Ain. So, as of yesterday, we have so far reached 160 plus workers. Nagbigay na po tayo ng assistance, financial assistance as well as yung mga food and hygiene kits po doon sa 160 plus na workers.
The government is also prepared in case there are OFWs who will request repatriation to return home to the Philippines. Ryan Lacanlale, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
The Philippines and New Zealand will further strengthen relations by signing an agreement related to military troop visits as well as logistics deal. Meanwhile, both countries have expressed concern regarding the situation in the South China Sea and Taiwan Strait. Rosalie Cos will tell us why.
The Philippines and New Zealand have plans to sign 2 agreements as part of strengthening the relationship between the two countries. In a joint statement by President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. and New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon, both committed to further strengthening defense engagements between the two countries. This will be achieved through the signing of a mutual logistics supporting arrangement and the conclusion of a status of visiting forces agreement. The New Zealand Prime Minister is on an official visit to the Philippines from April 18 to 19.
Let's make sure that this visit be a signal of a re-energized bilateral relationship between the Philippines and New Zealand that will see us enhance our existing cooperation and expand further on areas of great potential amidst an ever-changing regional global landscape.
Moreover, the two nations also plan to elevate the level of their ties on the 60th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic ties. This will be in 2026.
Obviously, for New Zealand, we are deeply committed to re-energising our relationships across the Southeast Asia. For Philippines in particular, we look at this market and this country and we think it's a fantastic future that you have. 110 million people, a fast-growing economy, young, talented people inside the Philippines with huge potential.
On the other hand, both the Philippines and New Zealand expressed concern about the situation in the South China Sea and Taiwan Strait. Thus, the two countries emphasize the importance of maintaining peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait.
The Philippines welcomes New Zealand's continued commitment to advocate for the peaceful resolution of disputes in accordance with international law, including through the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea.
Meanwhile, on the issue of economic partnership, President Marcos and PM Luxon also agreed to further expand the two-way trade between the Philippines and New Zealand in the coming years.
In our meeting today, we also discussed the huge economic potential in our relationship. We are both determined to grow two-way trade by at least 50% in the next few years.
In addition, the expansion of visa facilitation between the Philippines and New Zealand is being pursued. There are currently 100,000 Filipinos working and residing in New Zealand. Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
Concerning allegations rolling around regarding universities and colleges in Cagayan reportedly selling degrees to Chinese students for as much as 2 million pesos, the Commission on Higher Education has stepped forward. They've assured that they are prepared to launch an investigation should a formal complaint be filed. Jed Neresina details why.
The Commission on Higher Education, or CHED, strongly urges Professor Chester Cabalsa of the University of the Philippines, who cited the stories of locals in Cagayan regarding the transactions amounting to 2 million pesos, reportedly paid by some mainland Chinese students in exchange for higher education credentials. This is to formalize his complaint with the necessary evidence against St. Paul University Philippines in Tuguegarao with CHED. In a statement, CHED stated that they will not hesitate to start an investigation and ensure that due process is observed for all involved parties. This is a serious allegation that universities are accepting foreign students and are being used as milking cows. So the Commission maintains its commitment to ensure that academic institutions under its jurisdiction comply with Philippine laws and regulations while also considering the nation's interests. Jed Neresina, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
A lawmaker slams China over its recent statement on the issue of alleged influx of Chinese students in Cagayan. The Chinese embassy earlier released a statement which mentioned that some Filipino politicians are hyping up the maritime issues between the Philippines and China in the name of national security to serve their political agenda and self-interest. Senator Ronald De La Rosa says it is normal for Filipinos to express concern on the alleged surge of Chinese students in Cagayan because of China's aggressive actions in the West Philippine Sea.
May issue tayo dito sa claims natin dyan sa West Philippine Sea. Kaya normal lang magduda tayo. Huwag nila kaming huwag lang diktahan yung mga Pilipino. particularly mga politicians na sabi na nag-hype lang. Mabuti sana kung mabait sila, hindi tayo magdududa. Sinasalbahin nila tayo dyan sa West Philippines eh. Ano tayo? Magtatanga-tangahan?
De La Rosa, who also vice chairs the Senate Committee on National Defense and Security, calls for a whole-of-government approach in investigating the matter and its potential threat to national security.
Dapat talaga ma-establish talaga yun ng mga tao niya kung anong purpose nila dyan at kung talaga bang cover lang nila yung kanilang mga ginagawa ngayon dyan para sa isang mas malawak, mas malalim na purpose, no?
The Bureau of Immigration has assured that they only give student visa to foreign nationals that were endorsed by legitimate schools and the Commission on Higher Education, or CHED. They reiterated that those foreign nationals may be subjected to validation at any time if suspicious activities are detected that seem to be harmful to the security of the state. Jed Neresina details why.
The Bureau of Immigration said that 1,500 Chinese nationals have been granted with student visa in Cagayan in 2023. Dana Sandoval, spokesperson of the agency, emphasized that they are issuing student visa based only on the endorsements of legitimate schools and the Commission on Higher Education.
Sa atin naman po, nag-i-issue lamang tayo ng student visa doon lamang sa mga estudyante, mga foreign nationals that are endorsed by legitimate schools as well as po sa Commission on Higher Education.
In relation to this, foreign nationals with student visa may be subjected to government intelligence investigation. According to BI, their records are being sent to the National Intelligence Coordinating Agency, or NICA, and the National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI. Therefore, they may be subjected to validation at any time in the event of suspicious activities that seem to be harmful to the security of the state.
Yung kanila pong listahan, yung mga school po yung listahan ng mga foreign nationals ay pino-forward din po sa NICA, sa National Intelligence Coordinating Agency, as well as the NBI po, na sila naman pong mga ahensya ng gobyerno na tumitingin po sa security aspect and investigate po kung may mga makita po na mga cause for concern that might and things that might be inimical to the state.
A foreign national can also be deported if he or she was proven to be violating the laws of the country.
Kung may makita po naman na ibang activity nila dito sa Pilipinas, halimbawa po mga aktibidades na hindi sumusunod or hindi alinsunod sa mga batas po ng Pilipinas, then we can initiate a deportation po.
On the other hand, 4 schools in Tuguegarao City have denied the reports of the alleged influx of Chinese students in Cagayan Province. According to their statement, there are only 486 foreign students in St. Paul University, Philippines, or at SPUP in Tuguegarao City. Jed Neresina, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people. We give glory to God.
And for the news abroad, Dubai faces a massive cleanup task after floods caused by a year's worth of rain falling on one day. The said record storm, which hit the desert city 2 days ago, is the heaviest experienced by the United Arab Emirates in 75 years. Air and road traffic remained disrupted even as public transportation services resumed, and Dubai's international airport tried to clear its flight backlogs. So far, only 1 death has been reported in the UAE, while neighboring Oman had 20. A UAE government agency denies conducting any cloud seeding operations before the storm, while climate experts blame global warming for the extreme weather event. President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan said in a statement that he had issued an order for authorities for damage assessment and provision of support to impacted families. While Dubai's Crown Prince Sheikh Hamdan bin Rashid Al Maktoum posted on the X platform, saying that the safety of citizens, residents, and visitors was the utmost priority.
Prince William, Duke of Cambridge, resumed his royal duties with a poignant gesture of solidarity following his wife Kate's recent cancer diagnosis, stepping out for the first time since the announcement in March. Mary Jo Mariliado will tell us why.
Prince William on Thursday, April 18, paid a visit to Surplus to Supper, a charity in Surrey that distributes surplus food, where he rolled up his sleeves and assisted in the kitchen. During his visit, the prince received 2 heartfelt get-well cards, one for his wife, Kate, and the other for his father, King Charles, who were both diagnosed with cancer. In addition, he scheduled a visit to a youth center in West London that benefits from the charity's deliveries. According to Kensington Palace, Prince William's visit aims to highlight the positive impact that local organizations are making on both the community and the environment through their work. His last public engagement was on March 19th, when he visited Sheffield to promote his Homewards Homelessness campaign, as he has been spending most of his time with his family following his wife's announcement on March 22nd. In her message, Kate emphasized that families' need for time, space, and privacy as she undergoes cancer treatment, adding that they have been handling the situation privately for the sake of their young family. Mary Jo Mariliado, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
We'll share more global stories with you later, but for now, back to you, Harleen.
Thank you, Maeve. For those watching our live streaming on YouTube, please click the subscribe button you see on your screen and ring the bell for notification. You may also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. The Metropolitan Manila Development Authority has announced that the regulation to prohibit e-trikes and e-bikes on national roads in Metro Manila will begin on May 18. JP Nunez details why.
As President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. mandated the Metropolitan Manila Development Authority or MMDA to defer the ban of e-trikes and e-bikes on national roads in Metro Manila, the agency has announced that the regulation will begin on May 18. MMDA Acting Chairman Romando Artes mentioned that the 1-month grace period will be enough to create awareness to public with regards to the regulation. While there is a grace period, Chairman Artes clarified that the e-bikes, e-trikes, tricycle, pedicab, and kuliglig are still prohibited.
Bawal pa rin po itong mga ganitong klaseng sasakyan sa mga pangunahing lansangan. It's just that hindi po sila i-issuehan ng ticket, hindi po sila i-impound. Kung hindi, ano po ang gagawin natin? Kung sakaling mag-violate sila, 1, i-inform sila ng regulasyon na nagsasabi na bawal po sila. 2, ituro kung saan yung mga alternatibong daan. At 3, mag-comply doon sa LTO regulations regarding registration ng ganitong klaseng vehicle at pagkuha ng lisensya.
The MMDA admitted that it may have shortcoming on instructing users of the alternative route they will traverse when ban is implemented. They will utilize the remaining month for information drive.
Magpapamiting po kami ng mga traffic heads to identify yung mga alternatibong ruta at makasama po yan sa information campaign. At lalong-lalo na po pag may nahuhuli, ituturo po sa kanila kung saan sila pwedeng dumaan.
The MMDA has no plan to reduce the 2,500 peso fine to violators even if the President mentioned that it is hefty for them.
Ganoon naman po sa lahat, even sa other crimes, hinihigpitan po talaga yung penalty para wala pong gumawa. So, as of this time, hindi po namin ibababa yung penalty po.
JP Nunez, UNTV, News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
The power supply loss due to unplanned outages of power plants this week has reached 1,811 megawatts. According to the Department of Energy, this is more than double compared with the average record in the last 4 years. Ryan Nacanlale will tell us why.
Several power plants in the country were forced to shut down this week due to extremely high temperatures. According to the Department of Energy, this unplanned outage resulted to the lost power supply that reached 1,811 megawatts. It is more than double compared with the average in the last 4 years with an average of 700 megawatts. According to the OE, the power loss caused the red and yellow alert in Luzon and Visayas grids. Also, the operating margins is below the 4% demand. This prompted the Energy Department to issue alert notices.
There's an assumption for the forced outages based on the average of the past 4 years. So for this particular week, actually the average on the similar situation in the past 4 years is 700 megawatts. That's the assumption on the forced outages that will happen. But in April 16, the forced outages was at 1,811. So that's about more than double.
Energy Secretary Lotilla said the DOE cannot predict the worst case of power supply lost because the production of power plants is also dependent on the demand. But they are expecting improvements over the weekend as some power plants are back online.
We cannot predict that the high temperatures will persist over a long period of time. Kasi it's not only the power plant's performance that is affected, but it's also the peak demand. So if you have noted, and we have that on record, GCP has reported that our highest peak demand for this year, for example, occurred last April 17, and before that, on April 12.
The public are encouraged to save electricity, especially during peak hours. Ryan Lacanlale, UNTV News and Rescue. We serve the people, we give glory to God.
And in other global news, all set for a historic criminal trial involving former United States President Donald Trump in New York City, as the full 12-person jury has been sworn in, according to Justice Juan Merchan. With this development, opening arguments could potentially commence as early as Monday. Some had anticipated a lengthier selection process, but it swiftly concluded after Trump's camp ran out of maneuvers to delay proceedings. The proposal put forward by Algeria at the United Nations Security Council to recognize Palestine as a new member of the UN failed after the United States exercised its veto power. America reiterated its support for the two-state solution, but emphasized that it should begin with meaningful negotiations between Palestine and Israel, with the support of the United States and other nations. The United States argued that Palestine has yet to implement the reforms necessary to be recognized as an official state by the UN. Emotion ran high in Palestine following the UN Security Council decision, with appeals made for fair treatment from the UN body.
For these reasons, the United States voted no on this Security Council resolution. We have long called on the Palestinian Authority to undertake necessary reforms to help establish the attributes of readiness for statehood, and note that Hamas, a terrorist organization, is currently exerting power and influence in Gaza.
Among the 15 members of the UN Security Council, 12 were in favor of the resolution to accept Palestine as a member of the United Nations. This included Russia, China, France, Japan, South Korea, Ecuador, Algeria, Malta, Slovenia, Sierra Leone, Mozambique, and Guyana, while the United Kingdom and Switzerland abstained. The Palestinian presidency condemned the United States' action, asserting that it was unfair, unethical, and unjustifiable. Overall, 139 out of 193 United Nations member states recognized Palestine as a state.
We love life, to live in freedom and dignity in our national homeland. We will not disappear. Either you deal with us with fairness and give us our rights, or give us our rights.
And those are the reasons behind the news in other parts of the globe. I am Mavian Dog, live from Australia. Good evening.
Our kasambahay, as the world faces these trying times amid the various challenges and uncertainties, we are inviting everyone to join the global prayer for humanity.
Good day. I'm Brother Eli Soriano of the members of the Church of God International. I want to invite you to join us in a minute of prayer every day to pray for humanity and the whole world as we go through these perilous times. While safety measures like washing of hands and strengthening of our immune systems may help us through this horrible predicament, there is still no precaution or cure more powerful than God's mighty intervention. And we need His intervention now more than ever. It doesn't matter what religion you are in or what denomination you belong. This is an invitation for all the people around the world who cares for the future of their family, friends, loved ones, and humanity as a whole. Everybody is welcome to pray with us. For more details, you can check out the description box below. Thank you very much, and I hope to hear from you soon. May God bless you.
And before we close, we will leave you with a word, giving glory to God. From the book of John, chapter 2, verses 24 to 25, it says, "But Jesus did not commit himself unto them, because he knew all men, and needed not that any should testify of man, for he knew what was in man." And those are the reasons behind the news, April 19, 2024. Reasons we deliver to you as they unfold, because we need to know. We will always ask why. I'm Harleen Delgado. We serve the people. We give glory to God.